Hello, I'm Christy with Green Living Off Grid, and today we're going to be looking at different mini hydroponic gardens, mini gardens, and how do you pick the best one for your needs. So today we've got 4 units we're going to look at. We've got the A-Hope garden here on my right, the Zits next to it. Then we have the Let Pot hydroponic unit, and then last we're going to look at the Duesi here on my left. We're going to look at the pros and cons of each one of these and what might be best for the kinds of plants you're looking at growing in your hydroponic mini garden. Okay, so here are all of the different hydroponic machines with the light decks extended as high up as possible. You can see that here on the left, the A-Hope Intelligent Planter doesn't stand quite as tall as some of the other ones here, but it is a pretty good height if you're growing lettuce and small leafy green vegetables. This light deck is plenty sufficient for that. I want to point out that just like all the other units, it has a little pump inside. It's got its net cup, and then you can put a little sponge in there to grow your plants in. Your water level is monitored on the side. And they even provide a few little caps to cover the holes you're not going to grow in. I like to space my lettuce out, so I like to put caps on the holes I won't grow in when I am growing my lettuce. And of course, the light deck has all the functions that all of them have, with the vegetable for leafy growth, green leafy growth at the beginning, and then fruiting. You can change the light over to stimulate flowers when you're ready to get to the fruiting stage. One thing I really like about A-Hope Garden, it has one of the quietest pumps. You can see that it circulates the water, but it's very, very quiet. And because it has a smaller pump, it's excellent for lettuce. Some of your plants might need a little bit more aeration. If that's the case, then you might need to go to something like the Zits hydroponic unit. And we're going to turn this pump on, and it has all the features that the A-Hope Intelligent Planter has, but listen to the difference in the sound of this pump. It's a lot louder pump because it's a bigger unit, and it agitates the water better. So if you want good root growth, then the Zits would be my choice for starting my seedlings or my plants. And I also like the fact, again, it has one of the tallest light decks on it. So if you're going to grow something like your trellising peas or beans in this unit, you'll want the taller unit. This Zits model also offers a 12 plant site. This is an 8 plant site, but you can get it in 12 as well. So it's a really good unit. Let Pot is also very good for growth. And just like all the other units, the Let Pot has all the same settings for lighting with its light deck. And I do have some plants started in this. It's one of my favorite planters because it has such a sturdy construction. It has a really good feel to it. The trays are a little bit thicker, the grow tray is, than some of the other units. And the pump is one of the quietest pumps. You can see it's agitating the water, but it's very quiet. So the Let Pot happens to be one of my favorite planters. It monitors the water with kind of a float valve that'll help you keep an eye on the water level, whereas all the other hydroponic units have a view to the water level. You can just tell by looking at the side. This one uses a float valve, and it has one of the tallest light decks of the machines that we're looking at. So this is a really good system to have if you're going to be growing indoors in an area where you need it very quiet. I would choose the Let Pot, or I would choose the A-Hope Garden Intelligent Planter. And for height, the Let Pot is comparable to the Zits. And now we'll turn to the Duesi. This Duesi hydroponic system, just like the others, is set up the same way with a pump inside. We're going to go ahead and turn that pump on. And it, like the Zits, is a very powerful pump. And because it is so powerful, it tends to run a little bit louder. You can see the water agitating really well. If you have plants like your herbs which need a little bit more aeration, you're going to want to use a Duesi or a Zits hydroponic unit. So I tend to favor the Duesi and the Zits when I'm doing herbs, and the Let Pot and the A-Hope Intelligent Planter when I'm growing leafy green plants like the lettuce or starting seedlings for the outdoors. I want to point one drawback to this Duesi unit is the fact that the grow tray itself doesn't come out easily. You have to take the light deck off because you have to kind of put it up through that little holder there to get the tray out in order to fully clean out the water reserve. And to me that is a drawback because it's a little bit of a hassle. You can't just pull the tray out. But there is another workaround that you can do. If you need to clean it out and you don't want to mess with the light deck, you can always turn the tray sideways, kind of on the edge here, and then you can get to the reserve below. But that is a drawback that they built it to work, to just connect to the unit in a way that you have to take the light off to get the tray out. But you know, there is a workaround, and you can do that. All the other ones are easily removed. This one here, the Let Pot, it just pulls right out. Piece of cake. I'm growing in the Let Pot. I have the sponges in some of these, and then I have some hydroponic Rockwell cubes from a hydroponic system, so kind of have a mix of grow media in here. Now when it comes time to put the nutrients in the water for green growth, all these units come with an A and B plant formula that you put water in and you mix it up, and then it dissolves the nutrients in these little bottles, and then you can use the measuring caps to be able to know how much to put in for each of the reserves. And eventually you'll run out of nutrients and you're going to need to get a replacement seed pod kit. This is Ikabubu's seed pod kit. It has the extra bottles with the nutrients as well as an extra set of nutrients that you can have to mix up when these guys are empty. And of course it comes with more seed pod sponge kits like this to be able to put them in your net pot like that. You're going to want to soak them before you plant the seeds, so I would say soak the sponges and then put them in. But yeah, it comes with all of these nice little sponges that you can use for starting your seeds. It comes with replacement net pots, and I find them to be compatible with all the units, not just the round units, but like your Zits unit here, which uses a square net pot. Even these round ones from the Ikabubu will fit fine. So if you happen to lose a net pot or two, you can easily replace that with this kit in either of these units. It fits all of them. It's compatible with all of them. The nutrients are compatible with all of them. And of course, it comes with extra plant stakes and labels as well that you can stick on those stakes if you want to label what you're growing. So this is a great little kit to get whenever you run out of nutrients. Something else that comes with most of these machines are little plant stakes that kind of fit in the top tray of your unit, and you can use these plant stakes to help support your seedlings as they're growing up. The only unit that doesn't seem to have plant stakes, although it seems to have some holes that would fit plant stakes, but it's the A-Hope Garden Intelligent Planter. I did not see any plant stakes in my box when it came, so I don't know that this one supplies that. But if you're just growing leafy green vegetables, you won't even need the plant stakes. I like them for starting my tomato plants when those seedlings are growing, you want to be able to have a way, especially when you're growing something that's going to get tall, you might want to have these stakes to support those plants as they're growing. So there you see all 4 of the units we reviewed. From left to right, we have the A-Hope Garden Intelligent Planter, the ZITS Hydroponic Growing System, and we have the Let Pot, and lastly we have the Duesi Indoor Hydroponics Growing Systems. So they all work very well. They're great for starting seeds, especially when you're starting your plants indoors for your garden, and growing leafy green vegetables all year round in these units. Lettuce and other small little crops do really well. Happy growing, everyone! Don't forget to check us out at greenlivingoffgrid.com. If you put in your email address, we'll send you our free How to Get Started with Hydroponics PDF that you can download. So just go to greenlivingoffgrid.com and download our free PDF, Getting Started with Hydroponics.